Good morning, friends. It's Frank here, and welcome, brothers and sisters in Christ. Today's topic is going to be one that has impacted me over the last few years, as I've been learning about my new identity in Christ, about my new heart, according to Ezekiel 36:26, that God had removed that stony heart and given me a heart of flesh. This happens to all believers when they accept Jesus Christ into their life. Not only that, you get a new spirit, and that spirit is new. The old self of you has gone, and so now you're a new person. You're walking and talking truly as who you are as a child of God. But what about your soul? Now some say, well, your soul still isn't right. It needs sort of disciplining. It's not acceptable to God. I want you to think about a couple of texts which really debunks that. 1 Corinthians 6:19, Romans 12:1, Romans 6:13. I want you to pause, just have a look at those texts for a moment and think about what Paul is saying. Paul says basically that present your bodies as holy and acceptable to God, because it is. You see, the lies that we've been told is that we have a duality, a dual nature, a sinful nature and a good nature when we accept Jesus or become a believer. But the reality is it's the opposite. We are ready now. God has created us as a new being, ready to go, live this life, and heaven ready at the same time, so that when we do pass, that we'll be 100% clean before Him, because we are. You see, some people think that we're going to have a last minute do-over or something, or that we're 30% okay, but not 100% okay in our bodies. But that's not true, friends. The truth is that we are totally clean. Those texts that I just read to you tells us that our bodies are acceptable to Christ. And so in the past we might have thought, no, we're not. We're a little bit dirty, a little bit unclean, and we need cleansing. But that's not what the scriptures teach, friends. We're totally clean and totally acceptable to Jesus Christ. God has made us ready. Yes, we're housed in a vessel, as it were, but the house is not divided, is it? That's what Jesus said. A house divided cannot stand. But we're not divided. We're 100% clean. Just a beautiful lake here. So friends, I want you to think about that as you contemplate your life as a believer, that you are 100% saved, you are 100% clean, you can never lose your salvation, that you are a new person. God has poured His love into you. The only thing that we're renewing is the mind. Now that happens in a way that we don't really see. For example, sin is like a parasite and does send stinking thoughts to us. The world around us, we can allow error to come into our brain, into our thought life, and sometimes we entertain that, we reflect that, but that itself is not the mirror, right? Christ is the mirror. God's Spirit is guiding us into who we should be and allowing that fruit within us to grow, the Spirit within us to grow, because now we're attached to Christ, or the vine, as we are the branches. So your body, therefore, can't be dirty. You can't be dirty because God doesn't dwell in dirty places. Your body, as Paul says, we are the temple. So if we are the temple in reasoning on His words, we are holy, acceptable. God is accepting us as we are, and that's all that really matters. Our soul is clean. However, we at times allow thoughts do creep in, even if we don't think it. Now, our job is just to nip it in the bud and get rid of those thoughts. We don't have to sit there and dwell on those thoughts. We can just move them along very quickly. and get back into the Spirit. And that's really important, because then we can reflect the Spirit as we walk on planet Earth today. So my message today is that you as a soul are clean. You as a person is clean. You as a believer is clean. Yes, we do sin at times, that's for sure. That's not in question at all, right? But before God, we are holy and acceptable, friends, and that's really the key. And your soul is okay. It's good. It's good to go. It doesn't need disciplining, as it were. You see some of these people that say, well, you got to sort of whip yourself into shape. God doesn't do God has accepted us as we are. His job on us, his surgery, heart surgery, and his Spirit is acceptable. He lives in us, right? So he's not going to live in a dirty place. The Spirit's not going to live in a dirty place. We are a mobile temple. So therefore, our body is clean and acceptable to him. This is my thought for the day, friends. And it was just something that I've been thinking about and contemplating on discussing about our soul. It's not an extensive discussion. It is very light and easy for you to get. You can read those scriptures and think about it yourself. We have to sort of get past this idea that we are two natures, or we are 30% okay, 70% okay. No, we're 100% okay. We're 100% good. And our soul is good, our body is good. The vessel that we are housing, the new person, the new spirit, the new heart is good. However, we do have stinking thoughts. We have thoughts that come into our life, whether it's from the world or sin, and we need to deal with it for sure. Like Adam had a job where God said, subdue the earth. Subdue, right? We need to subdue these thoughts that we allow, or that we don't allow but just creep in because of this parasite sin that doesn't have effect on us, but it can also send signals to us, like thoughts that we don't even think about. They just come up, right? So that's the things that we got to do. We got to nip those thoughts in the bud and move back towards our focus. Like Paul said, his focus was his what he was doing, or his heavenly calling, upwards. That's where his focus was. It wasn't on his past as the chief of sinners, as he called himself. He didn't dwell there. Neither should we, friends. We shouldn't sit there and dwell about our past. We should just move on in our life, which sort of goes into other topics, like especially if you're a former witness and you're constantly talking about your past. That sometimes can be a problem because all you're doing is reliving the past constantly, especially online. The platform online can be helpful, but also can be detrimental to you. And so it's a warning, really, to be careful on what you read and what you watch and how often you watch these things. Try and think about, instead, if you're a believer, your walk with Christ and allowing the fruits of the Spirit to grow in you, in your daily life, every walk, in your working life, or your walking, family life, or whatever you're doing, allowing the Spirit to grow and manifest and reflect the Lord's Spirit in you. Great, guys. I hope that's sort of helped you in some way about the soul. The soul is good. Your soul is good. And let me know what your thoughts are if you like. But if not, that's okay. This is just, as I said, it's a light message. I'm just going for a walk. And I thought I would just sort of bring this up as a way of discussion. Take care, guys. See you soon.